The voltage gain of a basic instrumentation amplifier is set by N. A diode, B capacitor, C resistor, D inductor. The correct answer is resistor. A basic amplifier is formed by 3 op-amps and 7 resistors. A. Instrumentation, B. Isolation, C. Log, D. Antilog. The correct answer is instrumentation. Instrumentation amplifiers are normally used to measure A. Small differential signal voltages, B. Signals superimposed on a common mode voltage often much larger than the signal voltage, C. Both of the above, D. None of the above. The correct answer is both of the above. Refer to given circuits. Which circuit is known as an OTA? A, B, B, C, C, D, D. The correct answer is D. Refer to given circuits. Which circuit is known as a current to voltage converter? A, B, B, C, C, D, D. The correct answer is A. Refer to the given figure. This circuit is a setup for A. An antilog amplifier, B. A constant current source, C. An instrumentation amplifier, D. An isolation amplifier. The correct answer is an isolation amplifier. An amplifier is a differential voltage gain device that amplifies the difference between the voltages existing at its two input terminals. A. Instrumentation, B. Isolation, C. Operational transconductance, D. Log. The correct answer is instrumentation. Refer to given circuits. Which circuit is known as a voltage to current converter? A, B, B, C, C, D, D. The correct answer is B. Refer to the given figure. This circuit is a setup for A. An antilog amplifier, B. A constant current source, C. An instrumentation amplifier, D. An isolation amplifier. The correct answer is a constant current source. The main purpose of an instrumentation amplifier is to amplify signals that are riding on common mode voltages. A. Small small, B. Small large, C. Large small, D. Large large. The correct answer is small large. Refer to given circuits. Which circuit is known as a peak detector? A, B, B, C, C, D, D. The correct answer is C. A log amplifier may use the junction of A BJT in the feedback loop. A. Base collector, B. Base emitter, C. Emitter collector, D. Emitter ground. The correct answer is base emitter. A current to voltage converter produces A constant output voltage for a variable input current, B. Variable output voltage for a constant input current, C. Proportional output voltage for a variable input current, D. Proportional output current for a variable input voltage. The correct answer is proportional output voltage for a variable input current. A log amplifier has in the feedback loop A diode, B. A BJT, C. A resistor, D. Either a diode or a BJT. The correct answer is either a diode or a BJT. Refer to the given figure. This circuit is a setup for A. An antilog amplifier, B. A constant current source, C. An instrumentation amplifier, D. An isolation amplifier. The correct answer is an antilog amplifier. What are the principal areas of application for isolation amplifiers? A. Medical, B. Power plant, C. Automation, D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. A constant current source delivers a load current that A remains constant when the load resistance changes. B varies with load resistance. C varies inversely with load resistance. D varies inversely with input voltage. The correct answer is remains constant when the load resistance changes. The operational transconductance amplifier OTA is primarily A to amplifier. A current voltage. B voltage current. C current resistance. D resistance current. The correct answer is voltage current. The main difference between the isolation amplifier and an instrumentation amplifier is A. An instrumentation amplifier has an input stage. B. An instrumentation amplifier has an output stage. C. An instrumentation amplifier has a differential stage. D. The input, output and power supply stages of an isolation amplifier are all electrically isolated from each other. The correct answer is the input, output and power supply stages of an isolation amplifier are all electrically isolated from each other. An antilog amplifier has a in series with the input A BJT, B diode, C diode or BJT, D resistor. The correct answer is diode or BJT. An amplifier provides a barrier between the input and output for the protection of human life or sensitive equipment. A. Instrumentation. B. Isolation. C. Operational transconductance. D. Voltage to current. The correct answer is isolation. The process known as signal compression is used with an amplifier. A. Log. B. Antilog. C. Instrumentation. D. Isolation. The correct answer is log. Transconductance is the ratio of the output A. Current to the input voltage. B. Current to the input current. C. Voltage to the input voltage. D. Voltage to the input current. The correct answer is current to the input voltage. Refer to the given figure. This circuit is a setup for A. An antilog amplifier. B. A constant current source. C. An instrumentation amplifier. D. An isolation amplifier. The correct answer is an instrumentation amplifier. The OTA has a input impedance and a CMRR. A high-low. B low-high. C high-high. D low-low. The correct answer is high-high. The log of a number is the A base to which the power must be raised to get that number. B power to which the base must be raised to get that number. C base of that number. D power of that number. The correct answer is power to which the base must be raised to get that number. What is a key characteristic of an instrumentation amplifier? A. High CMRR. B. High output offset. C. High output impedance. D. None of the above. The correct answer is high CMRR. In logarithmic signal compression, A. Large and small voltages are compressed equally. B. Large voltages are compressed more than small voltages. C. Large voltages are compressed less than smaller voltages. D. None of the above. The correct answer is large voltages are compressed more than small voltages. What part of the characteristic curve of a diode is useful for log amplifiers? A. The log region above 0.7 V. B. The log region below 0.7 V. C. The log region between 0 V and 0.7 V. D. The log region below the Zener voltage. The correct answer is the log region between 0 V and 0.7 V. An OTA has A bias current input terminal. B. High output impedance. C. No fixed open loop voltage gain. D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. When using an OTA in a Schmitt-trigger configuration, the trigger points are controlled by a the I out, b the I bias, c the V out, d both I out and I bias. The correct answer is both I out and I bias. The primary function of the oscillator in an isolation amplifier is to a. Convert DC to high frequency AC, b. Convert DC to low frequency AC, c. Rectify high frequency AC to DC, d. Produce dual polarity DC voltages for the input to the demodulator. The correct answer is convert DC to high frequency AC. Refer to figure 22. This circuit is a setup for a. An antilog amplifier, b. A constant current source, c. An instrumentation amplifier, d. An isolation amplifier. The correct answer is a constant current source. An instrumentation amplifier has a high a. Output impedance, b. Power gain, c. CMRR, d. Supply voltage. The correct answer is CMRR. Circuits that shift the DC level of a signal are called a. Limiters, b. clampers, c. peak detectors, d. DC converters. The correct answer is clampers. In the classic 3 op-amp instrumentation amplifier, the differential voltage gain is usually produced by the a. First stage, b. Second stage, c. Mismatched resistors, d. Output op-amp. The correct answer is first stage.